Namaste, dear listeners. Welcome to the IWA channel, Astro Inud Abi, Oneness in Astrology and Spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abi. Here's the question here, Abi. You're always talking about loving God, but I have been taught to fear God. Please, can you explain? Okay. Without being too religious, I am an omniist. In fact, I won't classify myself even as an omniist. I am absolute nothingness. When I say I'm absolute nothingness, I mean that I am, if you take a box and if you spread it out, you open up the sides, it becomes a cross. That cross is the 17410. That's the Kendra houses. That's the house of, that's the baseline of life itself. And that's life itself, the Kendra, the 17410. So I'd like to describe myself as one that is opened out of the box, beyond that, which is absolute nothingness. So why do I like to explain myself like this? It's because I don't want to limit myself to limiting beliefs. I don't want to limit myself to somebody else's philosophies or limit myself to their experiences. In fact, I don't want to limit myself to yesterday's experiences because today is a new day with new possibilities. So why am I explaining all of this before even answering the question? Uh, the question being, I've been taught how to fear God. I must fear God because God will punish me. Let me tell you something, dear listeners. Fear is a very low vibration. It's in a very low it's a very low frequency. This is the hell. And what lives here is fear, animosity, greed, fight or flight mode, eat or be eaten, hunger, thirst, greed, jealousy, evil. This is the hell. So when people are telling you you must fear God, they mean you must be trapped in this dimension, and here you will get all of these qualities or experiences in life. Why? Because you become easily controlled when you're living in fear. But when you love, you must love God. How can you build a relationship with somebody if you're scared of them? How can you? This is the same people that will tell you you need to build a relationship with your higher power. How do you build a relationship with your higher power if you're scared? If you're scared of your father, how do you build a relationship with your father? If you're scared of your husband or wife, how will you build a relationship with them? Don't you think it's quite stupid? It doesn't make sense. Now, why would something that don't make sense you would follow? Sometimes you must question these things. You must question what the people are telling you in these various institutions that you go. Love. You don't need to build a relationship from love because you are love. Everything is a consequence thereafter of love. Love is a higher vibration. It is peace, happiness, joy, forgiving, foreverness, never ending, strong, richness, giving, receiving. This is the dimension of love. This is the Taurus field. From here, great possibilities await you. A very beautiful space to be. This is more or less around the 3 to 500 hertz. More about 350 to 500 hertz. You know, um, I'd like to describe it the HZ scale in humans. Now, if I have to look at it, if I've explained to you in terms of vibration, right, what this means. Now, right at the bottom, you've got in the lower frequencies, you've got shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, These are all 100 hertz and below. This is the red, um, the root chakra, the red. And then after that, you've got, based on my awareness, you've got fear. So you've got desire, anger, pride. Now this is all in the sacral chakra. Then above that, you've got courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance. Now these are very, very good places to be. A lot of people in the when you start your spiritual process, or when you slowly start to get awakened, or your awakening begins, you start to be willing to or accepting to change. You start to reason, and then you start loving. Yeah, this is around the 4 to 500 hertz, and then pure bliss, joy, 532 to 540 hertz. And then from here you rise in frequency. This is the peace. And then the enlightenment at 1,000+ hertz. Look, that could change too. I'm not holding it to 1,000. Um, whether it's 1,000 or 900 doesn't really matter, but that's the scale. From red all the way till light or violet or purple in color. That's the 7 colors. The red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the purple, the violet, the 7 colors. With the white. So you must understand that shame, guilt, apathy, grief, and fear, this is where they want to keep you. And they want to keep you here because you're easily to control. They'll feed you with any kind of nonsense, you believe it, and you're hooked onto them. Now, always remember this. You cannot build a relationship out of fear, but you can build a relationship out of love. And that's how you build relationships. All right? So, therefore, you must love your higher power, because you are your higher power in small fragmentations. How can you fear your higher self? How can you fear that which you part and particle of? How can you fear that which you're going to end up one with eventually? How can you fear that you're looking? If you're thinking of going back home, going back home is where? Back to the universe, back to one with the source. How can you fear that where you're going? How can you go to your father's house when you're scared of him? Wouldn't you be more scared when you're there? So why would you want to go back there then? So don't listen to people that tell you guys that you must live in fear and you must fear God and all of that. It's absolutely hogwash. And a lot of people, you'll see they say you must fear this and that. Don't ever get yourself there. Thank you guys for your listening, and may you all realize the love that's already within you. Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Shri Krishna, Hare Bol.